Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu Season 3 Episode 4. Yeah, last time something completely unexpected happened. The reappearance, even though it was just a dream, of Nox and Kilby. Why I am more excited for Nox? Because it's probably my favorite villain of the whole series. Again, until I see how this villain is developing, until I see the end of this villain, still Nox is my favorite so far. Yeah, and I was so excited when I hear his voice. I think you can see my reaction back then.
Wait! Wait! I know that voice! Yes, exactly! Oh, wait! It's him? It's really him? It's Nox?
So yeah, pretty excited to see freaking Nox, or to hear Nox first. Yeah, this is something I wanted because I know Nox is dead. I know that. But come on, we can bring Nox back. We brought Pom-Pom from the dead before, so perhaps... Okay, maybe I'm just wishful thinking at this moment, so yeah. He doesn't have any more reasons to live. He was shattered back then. But anyway, yeah. Obviously, that is not everything that happened in the episode. For me, it's the most important part because, yeah, it's pretty excited to see Nox again. But anyway, yeah, the rest of the plot was kind of developed. And yes, I was right. And I know I said this a lot, but come on, you have to give me this one. I was right. I predicted that they wanted to be the new gods. Of course, it wasn't that hard with the context and information that we had before. But anyway, yes, they want to, or they have to defeat the other demigods, the other possible gods. Yes, I know they have defeated at least a couple of them, Toxin and the Panda Wapo. So yeah, they are not that strong, or perhaps these two are the weakest of the bunch. Perhaps the only one who is still way too strong is Adamai, but once again he's cheating, and yes, I am gonna say this again, he's an hypocritical bastard. Because, oh no, you can use the Heliotrope Dofus for your own gain. You cannot use the Heliotrope Dofus for your own benefit. Bullcrap, you are using them for your own benefit. And don't bring me the crap that, oh, this is for the benefit of the world. Bullcrap, you become powerful thanks to the Heliotrope Dofus. So yeah, screw you. You are in the wrong. You hack. Anyway, yeah. Changing the topic and going back to the episode. So yeah, we are now dealing kind of I don't know why, but it reminds me a lot of the Night of the Zodiac plot. Yeah, the 12 houses of the Zodiac symbols, and they have to go through all the houses of the next gods or something like that along those lines. So yeah, it reminds me a little bit of that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to be saying that, or I'm going to be analyzing that in the next few episodes of the third season, which aren't a lot. Again, it's a good thing that we don't have filler episodes. It's a bad thing that it's only 12 episodes of 13 episodes in the whole third season. Yeah, it's a shame about that. But anyway, I think I'm starting to ramble way too much. So yeah, let's just cut all of these and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the fourth episode of the series of the third season. And as I said during the reaction, or at the end of the reaction, it is a weird episode. I honestly thought we're going to see battle after battle, kind of the same formula that the Knights of the Zodiac use. But no, I didn't give enough credit to the writers of the show. Again, yes, I found it weird, but not in a bad sense of the word. No, it was weird in a very interesting way. It's something I wasn't expecting. We saw a little bit of action, yes, when Pom-Pom tried to fight. But in general, we saw, again, what Oropo said, a battle of wills. And yeah, that is the interesting part of the episode, that this is not going to be only fighting to see who is the strongest. No, we're going to be seeing different aspects, or at least that's what I have seen so far. So yeah, it is going to be a very interesting season. If we're following this formula that yes, not every single one is going to be a fight. And even if it's not like that, if we saw a fight every single episode, or from now on we're going to see just fights, if they do the fights correctly, and then they interchange, well, not interchange, they intermix, sorry. They intermix fighting with this battle of wills, with this battle of who is right by ideology, not just by force, then it's going to be even better, which is something I'm really eager to see if they go to that route. But anyway, in the episode, of course, start as we left off. They are kind of depressed because, yes, all the things that were shown to them, we're only focusing on Yugo. Yugo is the only one we see that is remembering what happened in his nightmare. That, yes, he caused the death of Nox and, of course, the incarceration of Kilby. Yeah, Yugo is no longer this pure being, this being that can do no wrong, that cannot be possessed by the ring, cannot be, well, corrupted. He no longer is, he has grown. Mentally, physically, he's still quite a child-looking being, but still, mentally, he's a lot older and a lot more mature, thanks to the adventures that he had, well, in the first and second season. And he starts to doubt his own actions. Because yes, even though he is not as noble as he was before, he is still very noble. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to save as many people as possible, and of course to save his own friends. That's why he enters into conflict with himself when he realized that yes, he killed and incarcerated, well, two different beings. And yeah, this will work on Yugo thanks to the way he thinks, thanks to the way he behaves. He's so noble that if it was for him, he wouldn't have killed Nox. He would just have stopped him and just kind of reform him and let live continues. And the same with Kilby. He wouldn't have chosen to lock him in this black dimension with nothing in there, no space, no time, nothing. And again, a reformation. That will be ideal for Yugo. Of course, we know that is impossible in some cases. Like, yeah, the situations between Nox and between Kilby are very different. But they have their... well, their death or their incarceration have the reasoning. Nox in the end died when he realized that he wasn't going to bring his family back. That every single bit of effort that he made was futile because his family wasn't going to go back. So he gave up. He was literally too tired of living, too tired of holding to this dream to bring his family back, to be with his family once more. So when he realized that it was impossible, he just stopped living because yes, he was living for a long time. I don't recall if you mentioned this in previous commentaries, that yes, I know that the Shelors tend to live a long time, a lot of time. But I don't know if, even by set standards, Nox lived way too much. I do not recall this. But yes, he was being fed by the power of the Elia Cube, but actually also by his own will, by his will that he wants to go back in time and fix everything wrong that he did. So yes, that was the fascinating part about Nox, that yes, in the end, Yugo was the one who made it lose all hope. But Yugo was doing the correct thing. Why is that? Because if he wasn't stopped, he was going to destroy the entire world. I don't know if the entire universe, but the entire world was obviously at risk. Again, obviously Hugo don't see that picture. He just focusing on his mistakes. Because, yeah, that is what again, I'm going to compare it to a human. I know Hugo is not a human, but that is what a human tends to do. Even the successful one, a successful person, tend to see, oh, I'm a failure, oh, I am this, oh, I am that, even though he's pretty good at what he does. It's kind of a similar way that you tend to just see your mistakes. The nobler you are, the better you are, sometimes you tend to see only your mistakes. It is not healthy, of course it's not healthy, but that is what we tend to do. Alongside with Kilby, Kilby was going mad thanks to the knowledge of previous lives. And of course, there is no way for him to be fixed in this case. I'm just referring to the canon of the show. I'm not referring to any other source of information of the manga or the video game because I don't know them that well. So yeah, it will be silly for me to just assume things from what a few bits and pieces I have known. So yeah, until I read all of those, I would not be able to speak about what exactly is going on, or what exactly is going to happen, or what exactly was going through the mind of Kilby. So yeah, I'm just referring to the canon of the show, what is being shown in the freaking show. So yeah, going back to Kilby. Kilby was going mad. Kilby was going crazy because, well, yeah, all the years, all the life he has lived, and he remembered every single one. He was bored because there was nothing new for him to discover. There was nothing new for him to be in awe. So he wants to travel. He wants to use his immortality to travel around the universe to discover new things, to go by. But unfortunately, a wrong side about this that he wanted, or he ended up destroying some of the planets that he traveled to. So that is, yeah, he is kind of a perverted mind. That yes, okay, the only important here is me. Yeah, those civilizations will have been destroyed in periods of millions of years. So who cares? I just moved the clock a little bit forward so they are destroyed before that time. Again, this is a very sick mentality, a very selfish mentality that we have. So yeah, that is the only way, because if you kill Kilby, he will be going back to his own life, and now accompanied by the dragon, by Shinonome. Which, yes, of course, Shinonome wasn't having any more of Kilby's antics. He just was there, so... Yeah, the best solution is to lock him in the black dimension, in the dimension without time, without space. I understand this reasoning, but again, as I said before, Hugo tends to see only the negative side of his decisions. He has put the world in danger, yes he has. He wanted to save his friend, yes he was. I'm not saying that Hugo is the perfect hero. I'm not saying that Hugo never did anything wrong. He did, obviously, especially with the crisis of the dove against the ogress. Yeah, that was very poor decision, especially with the lift up of the island, because in the end that was what, well, almost caused the destruction of the world. So yeah, I understand this little bit. So yeah, Oropo is trying to use that nobility in Hugo and put it against him. For the rest, I understand. The simple mind of Pompon is easy manipulated. With the previous Job god that yes, he just procreate a bunch of kids and no matter what, and etc, etc. Yeah, technically even Goldchar is one of his kids, well, previous life kid. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, again, I'm not gonna deal in any of that. Amalia is being manipulated by the fact that yes, she recognized that she doesn't want to be in Sarida because she feels that everybody is putting too much pressure on her and they are forcing to do something that she doesn't want. She has done that before and never worked on her favor, or the favor of his friends, or the favor of his nation. Again, going back to the special, they can't want to use the freaking trees of the Sarida kingdom to fuel his machinery. So yeah, there is this context that not everybody that pretends to be on your side is on your side. Even the brother. As I said before, our man is a complete douchebag. And yeah, it is It is a douchebag. It is a complex character, yes, but one of the characteristics of this character is to be a douchebag. So yeah, it is a good reason, especially thanks to the close death of the king, the father of Amalia. She will no longer have anybody else to protect her for her brother, because now her brother is going to have the highest authority in the kingdom, and therefore he is going to force her to marry somebody who she doesn't love, and not Hugo. Again, going back to the shipping portion of the episode. Ruel feels bad thanks to his ex-wife that apparently died. That's what I interpret of this on this kind of flashback or nightmare. And of course, the only one who is free of these nightmarish thoughts is Eleli. Eleli has the advantage that she's a child. She has a child mind, so therefore it's very... Well, she could be manipulated, but not in the way that Oropo wants. Oropo wants to be manipulated by feeding their fears, by feeding the negative sides of the stuff. So that's my guess is that it's Oropo's game. But she doesn't have this negative side. Yeah, she's very innocent. She's still looking in a world at a marvelous place that, yes, it's dangerous, but it's marvelous in the end. So yeah, this is child mentality, which makes sense that she will not be able to be manipulated. The point of this is that to bring her as to be the goddess. Yeah, I know I took a lot of time to speak about this first scene, because yeah, it's pretty short, it's like 2-3 minutes. But I think it's important to understand the nature of all of these. This is the important portion, or at least the most important portion of the episode, in my opinion, alongside with the confrontation of the Osamonda god. Well, god to be, let's say. Goddess, I don't know if she was a girl or a boy. Anyway. Going back to the episode, they try to enter the door. Of course, Eleli is making react everybody because she's so fed up with oh, there's Moppy and yeah, crying and all that. So she motivates her dad to action. He does. He tried to break the door. It wasn't possible. There was a little bit of a puzzle, not an obvious one. I thought there were the keys just hanging in the freaking place. There weren't the keys. It was just part of a password. Say, okay, you have to do this. Yeah, they then end up opening the door, not before Ruel being kind of creepy in this case. Why I said that? Come on. He was just practically making love to that door because it was silver, half gold, diamond. Yeah, it was very creepy in a certain point. Of course, they don't solve the puzzle in the first try. Amalia tried to solve the puzzle, she failed, she was rescued by Hugo, and this is the other important portion of the episode, at least for me. We almost got what I was waiting since season 2. We almost got this kiss between these two. I was this close. When Eleli happened, I knew. I just knew that this wasn't going to happen. I just knew it. I had the feeling. But still, my hopeful side was, yes, kiss, come on, fulfill your destiny as my OTP. But of course they were interrupted first by Ellie, which of course they kind of ignored because they continued to this closing of the gap. But once Ruel get close, I say, okay, just separate, please. Yeah, for a shipper like me, it was, come on, even though I just knew that they weren't going to kiss. I just knew it. It was so obvious. But still, my hopeful side, my shipper goggles were saying, yes, 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 yes. Anyway, going back to the episode. Moving on. We enter this room, which is, well, filled with crap. Literally crap. Something that Pompon is not very fond of. We can see that. And again, this is just mere speculation. I guess this is the room that belonged to the Count Harbor, I think it is. I guess that was his room. But of course, he has been frozen.
I was frozen today!
well, the frogs and the animals of the next room of the Osamondas, demigod, well, crap all over the place. We don't have a very happy reunion. I thought at a certain point, just a brief moment, that the con was going to be released, but no, it wasn't the case. They just moved on. There wasn't much to do there in that room. Kind of a little bit of banter, but not really important to the plot. We continue to move on, and we find that they are following a bunch of frogs. That's it. Then, of course, we make another scene, and we go back to the top of the tower with Evangeline and Floppy. They are invited to this delicious table because, yes, everything in that table looks so freaking delicious. A lot of fruit. I never saw meat or anything like that, just fruit, which again, it looks freaking delicious. And again, Evangeline is treating this very carefully. She is not trusting anybody in this tower. She is not going to eat anything, and of course Lady Echo is kind of, yeah, we're not going to do anything to you. They don't know this. My guess, yes, again, they don't want to hurt them. They treat them like guests, very forceful guests, of course, but still, they don't want to kill them, at least not in this moment, because again, they need perhaps Flopping to become the new Crag God, and they need the baby for some other reason. I don't know what they want to do with the baby, but perhaps in case Flopping is not the Crag God or is not fitted to be the Crag God, I am not sure of anything in this point. Okay. They are treating this with mistrust, again, obviously. But once they see that Lady Echo ate and nothing happens, Evangeline said, okay, you can eat. Obviously, they need to eat. They cannot kill themselves with hunger. And especially, I doubt Evangeline wants to kill his son from hunger, even if she was stubborn. Perhaps if she was only Evangeline, would say, okay, I'm not going to eat because, yes, this is my protest. But she has children to take care of. She has children to take care of. Because I'm referring to, of course, Flopping, who is already born and kind of grown, and the child inside of her. So yeah, she needs to be careful with that, so that's why she's kind of conceding this victory to them. We don't deal with much with them. My guess is the purpose of this scene is to know that, yes, they are fine, yes, they are kind of being, I don't know if convinced. I don't know if Flopping is being convinced or is something completely different. Or perhaps they're showing, yes, they are still treating well, so you know that they are not monsters. So, yeah, the contrast between, yeah, the bad guys, but they are not monsters, they are not completely bad guys, let's say. We return, of course, to Hugo and the rest, and we find the next Osamonda god. Another demigod, the daughter or son, I think it's daughter of the son Osamonda. Osamondas. This is when the episode turned into something I wasn't expecting. Turned into something fascinating, to say the least. Of course, they want to attack her. The first one was Pompom because he wants to hurry and save his wife and child. But he's been dealt with relatively ease because, again, they are fighting a demigod. Even though, well, no, Pompom is no longer a god. The only one who has kind of the same status as them is Hugo, because yes, once again, he is the son of a goddess and a god. So yeah, he is I don't know if a demigod or a full god, because yeah, technically both are gods. And they are originally well, yeah, you're right. Okay, I never thought that until this moment, that technically Hugo is not a demigod. Technically Hugo is a god. Because the 6 original Eliatropes all came from the Dragon God and the Wakfu God, the Eliatrope goddess. So yeah, their parents are both gods. So, okay, yeah, I never thought of that. Technically speaking, Hugo, Kilby, the rest of the Eliatropes, and of course the original dragons, Shinonome, Adamai, Faeries, all of them are technically gods. not demigods. Now that oh god, I never thought about that, seriously. Okay, never mind that, That is, I think, a different type of topic. Anyway, yeah, they confront this girl with not much success, and with just a touch, this girl transformed them into tofus. They look adorable. I have to be honest, all the tofus in here look very, very adorable. But that is not the point. She only not transformed Eleli to, well, a tofus, because she wanted to talk with Eleli without the interruption of Pompon or Hugo or Amalia or well. And she's leave them with her mascot. I think it's her mascot. I'm not entirely sure of that. And we saw antics, a very funny side, but that is not the important of the scene. No, the important of the scene is we saw the true face of this demigod, of the Osamonda's god. That she wants to protect every single animal in the entire world. She doesn't want to see them suffer. She doesn't want to see them in fights or being mistreated or anything like that. That is a very noble cause. But there is a problem here. Again, going back to my previous video, this is what it looks like a benevolent tyranny. Yes, you want to do good, you want to have control over everything so nothing bad happens to the people or to the beings you want to protect. But that's the problem. You're taking away the freedom of the people to do what they please with their lives in order to protect them. And again, that is tyranny, because in the end, you will be the only one who say what is right and say what is wrong. You are not going to leave anything for interpretation. In this case, this is a kid we're speaking about. It makes sense for a kid to think like this. She wants to release all the animals. I don't know if they were extinct or she just wanted to protect all these animals once they were inside of this giant frog, of course. But she wants to release them to the world once the world is safe, or at least what she considered the world safe for the rest of the animals. But that's the problem. Even between, yeah, my guess, she doesn't want to eat meat, she just wants to eat vegetables and all that. But there is the problem here. What happened with the animals that really eat meat? They will be hunting animals for their own food. What is going to happen in that case? I don't know if a god is going to be able to make everybody a vegetarian. Everything, not everybody, everything a vegetarian. And yes, obviously, there are people who abuse animals. It's something that I hate. I hate dog fights because, yes, I haven't seen one, but I know they exist. I hate people that really kick animals and because whatever reason, that they don't feed them, that they just bought them to protect their house, but they never care about the animals, anything like that. I do hate those type of people. I understand. Those people need to be punished. But you cannot give away your freedom because, again, what they pretend to do, or what I think they pretend to do, is to create this tyranny and take away all your freedom so you can be protected. Again, in a very loose sense of the word. So that's why I don't like this idea. I still consider them a bad guys. Yes, they are giving us a gray area. That, oh yes, they are trying to protect this, they are trying to protect that. But once again, I don't think their approach is the correct one. And again, I don't trust the higher-ups. Perhaps the lower ones say, yes, we're going to do good and everybody's going to be fine. But perhaps the higher-ups really want the power. Not only to protect them, but the power for themselves, for their own selfish reasons. So yeah, that was a brief moment in which kind of they tried to convince Eleli because they are speaking in their own level. So yeah, they abandoned this place because that was it, that was the test, that was the point of this girl. She doesn't want violence, and of course she is not going to participate in said violence. And it's obvious from the way she behaves in this trial. And we're going to see the next one, which is of course the last scene we saw this hot-headed guy. Literally hot-headed guy. So perhaps we're going to see more action in there. Now, before I finish the video, I want to see the difference, and I don't know if this is going to be a point in which we're going to see in the different floors of this tower. but she was a child, and we saw here a very childish humor, very childish behavior in all of these episodes. Yeah, we're stepping on a crab and it's funny. We're stepping on a crab. I don't say it's about humor, but it's very focused on the child humor. Perhaps because they have to face a child. Yes, there was some points in which it was kind of a more mature point, but again, the way that this episode is very childish. Not in a bad way, because yes, it was funny, it was cute, it was all of that. So yeah, I guess this is the point, because yes, it was a child. Perhaps in the next episode we're going to be seeing a lot more action, a lot more aggression, because yes, it's going to be a fire guy. I don't know. This is again mere speculation of what is going to happen. I want to interpret what I see so far. Yeah, a very fascinating episode, a deeper episode that I thought at the beginning in the first viewing. A very great episode, which again I took way too much time at the beginning because I think it was necessary to, well, say all of this, and I don't want to leave anything on the air. Anyway, yeah, I think I really exalted the topic of this episode. A very good one, a fascinating one, and I cannot wait for the 5th episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, guys, and well, thank you for your attention, guys. See you on the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. As always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.